What's up guys, I'm Kyle at Fortune Off-Road. In this video we're working on the Samurai. It's time to finish the full hydro steering and get this thing started up again. It's been 2 years. It feels great to get out in the garage again and wrench on the Samurai. This project has been a unique one so far, with a lot of people asking questions like, why are you going with leaf springs? Why did you stretch it so much? And the one I get most often is, why is this taking so long? The truth is, I'm kind of making this up as I go, and instead of following the blueprints of those that have done this before me, I'm kind of just trying something new, something I had in my head. I want to see if it works. The biggest reason for all these things I'm doing is the cost, and since I already had a lot of these parts, I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna try this. I have a vision in my head. Maybe this will work out, and if not, we can cut it all off and it hasn't been that big of a loss. All right, back at it with the Samurai, and I gotta warn you now, I think it might be the lighting in the garage. The last video, it just wasn't tracking that well, and it was like really shaky, even though I have the auto stabilization thing on. And I think it was just because it was kind of dark. So we'll work through this like we always do. Anyways, where we left off, we had pretty much all of the full hydro mounted up. And we have to still take that apart, put some spacers in there so there's an internal limit on the ram so it doesn't break my knuckles off of the axles. And then while that's all off, I finish welding up the front of that support bar. And then we're getting into the next part, which is the Orbital. So the Orbital, I was originally planning on putting it up on the frame, basically like right here on the other side right there. The steering linkage was just really hard to work with it all the way down there, basically where the other power steering box was, which is kind of weird, but it was hitting the motor mount. Then I had an issue with it touching the exhaust manifold, and I eventually decided, you know what, I've got full hydro. I can mount this Orbital literally wherever I want, as long as the hoses are long enough to reach the ram. So the hoses, if they're too short, we can just get longer ones made. That's not a big deal. More important to me is where do we mount the Orbital. So I decided to mount it on top of the frame, and it's like straight in line, but unfortunately, as you just saw, I had to cut off a lot of the fender. This is something that was going to happen anyways. I showed you in the last video that this is what we're starting with. This is our first cut. It's almost like a comp cut, J cut in the front, and it still limits the tire at full turn. So we'll see, we might have to do more, but I started cutting it away, and it does hurt to do that. But to anybody that thought my Samurai was really clean, I couldn't even unbolt it and take it off the normal way because it was just so dented up. I've welded on it, the previous owners welded on it, so felt good to get it all out of there. But now we need access to the frame. So this is what it looks like now. Cut wasn't too bad. Cut into this part a little bit, but it doesn't matter because this whole thing on the other side is all crushed up, and this one isn't in the best shape either. So this is eventually all going to get cut right on this line right here, including the door. And we're going to have a big rock slider right there. Going to stick out a little bit, and then we'll be able to build an EXO off of that, hopefully. But it left this nice and open, and I'm surprised how rigid this still is. Probably with just the connection on this side. So we've got a little bit more cleaning up to do in there, but this is where we're at right now. This is the Orbital mount, and here is the steering shaft. So you can see right here, it's like perfect alignment. Looks really good. So I think before it was like down like this, and it's kind of close to everything. Now it's way out of the way, and it's not in front of anything that's going to go on my frame too. So I cut off the shock tower, which is a pain in the butt, and those are nice low range off-road towers too. And I remember I did flux core welding on those a long time ago, and everyone said that was not enough to keep that on there. Dude, this thing took me forever to get off, and you can see I cut into my frame stiffener, so now I'm gonna have to fill that in. But yeah, this is what the Orbital comes with. It comes with this plate and then a couple gussets. I ended up not using the gussets because they're for like mounting on the frame a different way. So I just boxed in the top of the frame here, and then I've got these homemade gussets on there. I still need to finish the bottom right here. We'll hook up the box, and that's pretty much our last thing on the Samurai end, waiting to get the steering all hooked up and bled. All right, next I need some way to connect my current steering linkage to the Orbital, and this is what I've come up with. It's 3/4 rod that I cut down and shaped the same to fit this steering U-joint coupler thing here. So it's kind of, I don't even know what that shape is, but it's keyed. It's got to go in that way. And then this is the spine that Trail Gear says is on their box, and it was right. So I got this off of Amazon. Check out the description below. I'll throw this in there. This is pretty quality feeling part, but I have to find a way to make that connect to to the steering linkage on the Samurai, and I made this. So I'm gonna weld this together, and then that should be pretty much the last step before we can bolt this all in. Not the prettiest, that'll do. All right, let's see if my new flange works. Pretty dang straight and out of the way of everything. Happy with that. Our next puzzle is going to be routing all of the hoses up here. So hopefully it's not too close to anything and we can clock this. So we could clock it this way, we could clock it to the right, whatever we want to do. I think we've got a bunch of options, but for now, up makes the most sense. All right, on to the next thing. Swept the floor. Can you believe it, guys? I've got a clean-ish workspace today. Well, this is what it looks like right now. We'll see what this looks like when we're done. We've got the ram back. So I'm getting ready to bolt this all in and, you know, start hooking up all the steering. So took it over to my buddy Kellen's house. We took it apart. It's gonna be really hard to show you this on camera since it's up there, but there's this little slot right there, and there's essentially a wire that goes all the way around this cylinder. If you've never taken one apart, it was my first time. And this wire, like, you just rotate this off. It's not threaded, and as you rotate it, you'll see the end of the wire. You feed it up through that hole, and then everything comes out. We just hit it with a mallet. Then when it comes out, you can see the seals and everything, and piston. We put aluminum spacers in there. I think they're about 1 1/8 inches. I didn't measure them out, but it's a tiny bit more than what we actually need to limit this steering. So I've got to get all this stuff installed again. Then I'm gonna start hooking up the plumbing, and I'm kind of mixed on what I should be doing here, because part of me wants to just use the stuff I know works for now, but I do have this new one. The thing is, I just have nowhere to mount it because it's supposed to go on this 1.5 DOM or whatever radius that is, and it's pretty heavy. So nowhere to put it now that I cut the fender up. Speaking of fenders, started, you know, mocking up shocks, what that's gonna look like. Should I go to the C with the shock, or should I go with my mount down here? I have both of them. I think it's gonna depend on how this shock is mounted up and like how high the shock tower or hoop is gonna go, because I wanna make sure I'm getting every last inch out of these shocks. These are the biggest shocks that Bilstein makes for this tier. It's 14-inch travel, so pretty decent. I wanna use all of it. Then you'll notice I have this little curved line right here and these racing stripes on the front. So what is this about? Well, I haven't completely made up my mind yet, but what I'm thinking about doing is just cutting the grill totally out and then cutting 4 inches out of both sides, welding it all back together, gluing this plastic grill back together. Basically, this whole grill will be 8 inches shorter, because the issue I'm running into is on the sides where this tire goes up. Like, this is my limiting factor for the up travel right now. And it's not so much just going up with the tires are straight, like there's a lot of room. It's when I turn. So when you turn towards the body, this gets up and it's gonna touch right here. So I don't wanna butcher this grill too bad. I mean, I guess depending on what your opinion is of cutting these up, this is butchering, but this is all just empty space anyways. There's no mounting. There's no screws that hold it in, nothing. It's not gonna block the radiator, so I think it'll work. This will give me, if you look at this tape measure up there, 4 inches. I mean, imagine this whole thing just shifted over 4 inches. So right there, plenty of room for that tire. And then later on, when we link the front, it'll have plenty of room to go up. So anyways, just a thought, as I start plumbing this stuff up, I kind of want to have that in mind, because eventually we'll have an EXO that's going to go around and it's hopefully going to follow the shape of the hood. And then it would just have, you know, some bars that come down and tie into the bumper, which is why I left this space right here. And then we can start mounting everything off of that bar. But that's way later with the EXO. I think I can, just using these mounts right here, like drill some new holes. And then between that and the hood latch, I could have a stable-ish grill while I wait for the rest, even when cutting off these fenders. So I don't know. But I came out here last night to grab something. I looked at this and I'm like, you know, it reminds me of the movie Braveheart, when Mel Gibson's got that blue war paint on his face. Kind of cool. Be sweet to do that to a vehicle and have it like white with some blue paint on, like, to match the same pattern that Mel Gibson had on his face. That'd be sick. Or am I weird? I don't know. Actually, I do know I am weird. In a lot of build videos, you see the progress on these rigs where it kind of just seems like they skip to it being done, or maybe they only record the cool parts or the quick parts. For me, I've taken this RAM off and on probably 12 times, and I'm really hoping there's only gonna be one more time to do it, and that's gonna be to clean up and paint the support. Changing the height of the RAM, the angles that it's pushing and pulling, and now the hydraulic lines requires daily stops at the hardware store for nuts and bolts. They know me by name. Even in a little Samurai, with this tiny 1.3 liter, it feels like I'm running out of room, especially knowing that I've got to mount that huge reservoir and filter, also the power steering cooler on this same side, in conjunction with a shock tower that's gonna come later. But down the road, I'm hoping to put a turbo on this engine also. So I'm trying to keep all that real estate open, trying to keep that in mind that I need to have that unobstructed so it's not melting everything and I don't have to do any weird fabrication to make it work. All right, been a little busy. Got new battery on there, and we've got all the hoses plumbed up. I've got it just sitting on the top right now because we have nothing to mount our stuff to. The reservoir and filter setup's pretty heavy, so it's hanging on the fender. Our cooler is up here. There's a cool diagram from Trail Gear that shows you where all the hoses go. And yeah, we tighten these all up, no leaks. The routing is just kind of temporary for now. Like this all looks, it's probably gonna be like that. Here, I'm probably gonna get one of these hoses cut just so they're both the same length and we can keep them together. And they'll probably secure up here behind a shock hoop or maybe next to it. But just did an oil change. That's why there's fluid on the ground. Did an oil change and filter, and then we're gonna start this thing up for the first time in 2 years. Got the propane turned off, so hopefully it can just click over a few times to get some oil in the steering pump. It'll probably run for a while just on the propane that's in the hose, because propane's awesome. So get all the air out and keep topping off the reservoir, and then we'll work the RAM back and forth to get all the air out there. Next step is to hook up the tires, the knuckles to the RAM ends, and we'll see where we're at. If we need to do any more limiting, and if it's going to push too far, if there's air that needs to be worked out of there, and then we'll have some steering.
Look at that no funnel work.
Just don't look at the floor. It's gonna start right up, I bet. It's holding right now. No exhaust. No leaks up here so far. Not bad for sitting for 2 years. It took like only a couple seconds to crank up. All right. Start. You did a good job bleeding this thing out, man. Barely taking any now.
Solid runner. And the propane's on?
It's off.
Oh, it's off.
Yeah.
There it goes.
Really off. So far, this RAM mount has been the trickiest part. Trying to get the height right so it's above the springs, and the geometry to make sense so it's pushing and pulling the right way. It's been a real struggle, but I think we finally got into a good spot where it's not going to negatively impact anything, and we should be able to maximize our articulation in this front axle. Oh boy, did we get some stuff done today. I got the new battery. I decided to just get one that was more common, and my buddy Kellen recommended 75. I wanted something a little bit bigger, of course, but then something that is easier to find. Like you can just find it at any store. This one has some side posts on it too, which is sweet. And the new battery did the oil changes start right up. And I mean, this is one of the things I love about propane. Like, you throw my key in here. Watch how fast this thing starts up. I mean, it's like a fraction of a second this thing's running. And the power steering pulley's lined up pretty good. We're not having any wiggle or weird wear there. No leaks. All the fluid up there is already on there from spills we had earlier. And Kellen did a really good job getting the air out of these lines already. So by the time it we actually had pressure on it to move the tires. It worked great. And of course, it's full hydro, so with one finger, you can steer it. I mean, love it. Got the stock Samurai steering wheel, which I love, but unfortunately it'll never be centered again. So here's the bad news. The steering, you can see right here on the seal wipe, we have like 1 3/4 inches or something like that. It's way too much. And long story short, the spacers we put in there don't need to be in there. I messed it up. I don't know what I did. I thought I needed to make sure it wasn't steering as sharp, and now it's not steering sharp enough. Here, let me turn it all the way and I'll show you what it looks like. I mean, that's pretty good, but we have way more to go. So we got another, I don't know if it's way more, but that's like 1/4 inch right there. This can go like all the way to the end. You can see the seal wipe right there. We measured the eye of the arm with the eye of the high steer arm, and we've got about 1/16 inch, 1/8 something like that, which happens to be the exact amount of spacer we put in there. So it's limiting it just the same amount as the spacer. So eventually we're gonna have to take that apart. For now, our test drive and all of that, this is enough steering, but we've got plenty of room before it hits the springs, and we're not even close to the stop. So we put some grease on the axle joint there, and we were spinning it around to see if the ears were touching, like if we were maxing out our steering angle, and we were. So if we bottomed out the steering knuckle stop, it'll steer too sharp. We are getting close, you guys. We've got the grill I got to cut out. We've got brakes, drive shafts, and we could probably drive this thing. Now, wheeling, it's a different story because we have a lot of little things we need to fix and a lot of big stuff we need to build, like the armor, rock sliders, exo, the inner fenders in the back. It's such a relief to do this. And, you know, having my buddy Kellen here, he's just, you know, adult supervision, watching me do everything. Helped me not make a bunch of mistakes today, and I am really excited about getting the Samurai out again. Engine seems like it's running great. There's a little bit of a time there where it's just like, man, there's so much to go on the Samurai, you know, and it just seemed like such a distant possibility of driving this thing anytime soon, but I don't think we're that far away now. You guys have any tips as I move forward? Love to hear them, because some of these things I'm about to do are irreversible as far as the body and stuff goes. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.